another episode or chapter of A Traveling Knitter. I'm your host, Steph, and I am podcasting to you from inside of my apartment in Columbus, Ohio. I have made some progress in a lot of projects. My hair is too long. I am really not enjoying how long it is right now. This is, I would say, about the length of what my hair was when I did the pixie cut. And I mean, it's a lot of weight. There's just a lot of it. I'm not having it anymore. What is today? Today is April 25th. It is Saturday. It's like 7:30. Oh, nope, it's 8 o'clock. I have just finished dinner. I ordered Indian food from a restaurant basically across the street from me. So, yep, that's that. But let's just jump into what I've been working on. I do have the window open because I don't have my aircon on. So the window's open, so there's gonna be some background noise. I don't hear it too much when I do recording, or when I do recordings, when I edit, so hopefully it's not that bad. For completed quests or completed objects, I finished those vanilla socks for my mom, but I have mailed them. So I will just stick a picture up somewhere of those socks. They're just normal socks. I did do twisted rib, and I believe my stitch count was 60. I can't remember at this point, but yeah, the yarn was Lorna's Laces in the Soulmate base in Hampstead, and I have some left over. I did break them up into 10 gram minis. Well, I have two 10 gram minis, and then I have like an overflow one. So I have those to trade if someone wants to trade minis. Yeah, so I finished those, which proud that I have another completed object for a podcast. So let's jump into stuff that I can actually show you. So I do have the intersection sock by Marceline Smith, and I have those right here. This is in the Lina magazine, or not magazine, but the Lina 52 Weeks of Socks book. And as simple as this pattern is, it is simple, I'm having a really hard time reading my rows. So I realized that I have messed up right here. I probably knit 2 rows instead of 3 rows in between the cables. So the cables, they just don't line up. But honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal, when the only reason I can even tell is because if you turn it sideways, you see that the cables are supposed to line up, and then they don't line up right here. So not a super big deal, I don't think. So right now I'm trying to figure out if I'm at the heel yet. So I need to go get the pattern. I put it back in my bookshelf to take pictures, but I need to go get the pattern and see how to do the heel, and if I am at the point of when I should do the heel. I put this on and I'm basically like at the ankle, or the ankle bone. So I'm thinking I should be putting the heel in. There's not a lot of stretch in this guy. So yeah, here's, you can kind of see, oh, I think it might be raining. Yep, it's raining. It was supposed to rain all day today, and then it has been beautiful and sunny. Tomorrow it's gonna rain, which is great because Sundays are when I go run. I'm only running once a week right now just because, but okay. So here is the yarn. It's a very clear change of color. I was thinking it was going to gradiate more. But this is the yarn that I'm using. It is Regia Perfect in the color 07096. So it's just a bunch of grays. Well, this might be blue, but yeah. So knitting on those. I am still using the magic loop because I don't have to think about the pattern because it's only in the front. So it's actually not been terrible to knit with magic loop. It still would be faster to knit in the round on my 9-inch circulars, but I'm actually enjoying doing it this way. So we will move the progress keeper. My progress keeper is from the advent calendar from Julie, which she is Sweet Sparrow. So this was in her advent calendar. Put that away. And I am knitting those on a size 1 Addi Turbo Rocket. Size 1 is a 2.5 millimeter. I really like the Addi Turbo sock rockets. I do like them. I like how sharp they are and glidey. The next project is my boho blush. And it's not going to look like I did much progress, but the rows are so long that it takes, I think, like 15 or 10 minutes to knit across this. So here it is. It's all scrunched up. Let me pull it apart right here. So there is my progress keeper, and I have knit several rows. And I am ready for this to be done because I mean, it's beautiful. The fringe is probably not going to be a lot of fun to do, but this guy's been on the needle for quite a while. So I'm just ready to move on, we could say. I'm still enjoying knitting on it, especially right now because it's just garter, and then I will jump to brioche. And it's just plain brioche, so that's not a pain either. Honestly, the lace is a pain because the rows are so long that when I realize I've messed up, and it's like I literally have to knit back to it. I can't just drop down to fix it. It's because like my counts are off, and it would make the feather and fan offset. So that's really annoying. I've had to do that on every single row, and actually this last one, I had to do it twice. So that was a pain in the ass. I watched an entire movie and I got nowhere because I had knit across, realized it was wrong, came back, knit across, realized that it had actually been wrong in 2 different places. So yeah, that was great. I'm moving my stitch marker, which is also another stitch marker from Julie, and it was in the advent calendar. And for those of you who don't know, this is the boho blush by Andrea Mowry, and I am knitting this. I have finally cracked into that second cake. This is Cozy Color Works, Cozy Color Works in the brick colorway, and I did purchase this yarn at Rhinebeck. And here is the ball band. It's got the URL on there. Not sure if they still dye, but I'm enjoying this yarn. It is a light fingering, which is why I'm getting so far in it. And the needles I am using are Addi's. They're lace needles, and they are a 3.5 millimeter, so whatever size that is that a 6? No, it's a 4. So wrong. So there's that. That's probably not going to be done on by the next podcast either. There's still quite a lot of knitting to go. The next thing I made progress on is my northeasterly. Look at all of that. So I had up to this color right here, and I knit all of this. And yes, see this little wonky thing? Somehow I was 2 stitches short on this side, and I didn't realize it until I was changing colors, and I was like, well, great. So yeah, I'm hoping once I you know, stitch, weave, whatever, the strips together or whatever I'm supposed to be doing, that won't be a problem. It looks like you can see that I lost the stitch here, which is actually right here. I think I did not pick up the other strand, and then I don't know what happened over here to lose another stitch, but yep, that happened. So I'm now in the gray again, and then I will add the last color, which is green, and then finish it up with the gray, I believe, is what I'll end up doing. So here it is. It is looking really nice, I think. I think this looks awesome. Bright, kind of nautical. So once I add, so these, basically this much more length plus the full, so I guess like this much length. Once this much length is added, I'll decide, do I want it to be longer or is this a good size? So like right now, if I were to end it, it would be a nice lap size. So I'm thinking it's gonna be good to do what I just said, gray on each end. The colors I'm using are, or the yarn I'm using is Caron Simply Soft for all of the color. And then this is a Bernat Baby, and it's one of those large cakes, or large skeins. I'm hoping it's gonna be enough to get me through the entire blanket, but if not, I'll just buy more acrylic yarn. So there it is. And this is a stitch marker that I made myself. I just went to Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something and picked out a bunch of charms and added them to some jump rings and onto a lobster claw. And I think it turned out really cute. Just a little bug. Speaking of bugs, Animal Crossing came in. Catching bugs, fishing and weeding. I actually really like to weed. So if you visit my town, you're gonna be like, why is there so much weeds? It's because I like to weed, so I don't like to get rid of all the weeds immediately. Real weird, I know. Okay, so those are all the projects that you've seen, but I have cast on something new. And I've had this yarn caked up for like 2 months, and I just didn't start it because I hadn't finished stuff. And that is my Ripple bralette. Yeah, this is a bra, this tiny little thing. Don't you love the colors? Oh my gosh, I love this. This might be like my new favorite dyer. This is by Teal Torch Knits. She is from Portland, Oregon. And this is in her TTK sock base, which is a 75-25. A very popular base because it's 463 yards for 100 grams, and I believe a lot of indie dyed yarn I have comes in that 463 yards. And the colorway is called Dancing on Top of Cars. I don't know if it's a reference to the Jonas Brothers song, because there's a line in their song, I've been dancing on top of cars. Wait, no. I've been stumbling out of bars, dancing on top of cars. I follow you through the dark, can't get enough. Sounds like a stalker. But I really, really like that song. That's not why I bought the yarn. I bought this at Vogue Knitting Live, which was, when was that? November. Yeah, it was in November because it was, I tacked it onto Vlogtober because it was an activity, but whatever. So I kept seeing this yarn when I was doing my loops, and I loved the colorway so much. I loved it. I mean, it's just as bright as what you're seeing. It's amazing. But I was like, how would I wear this? I'm not afraid of color. Actually, I'm like really proud of my outfit today because I think it looks really cute. Yeah. These are shorts from Target. I don't know, like high-waisted, I feel like it makes you look pregnant, like you've got a little pooch. So yeah, this is my Harry Potter shirt that I got at Target, and I love how it's like tiny, whimsical from far away. You might not realize it's Harry Potter. And then with like mustard pants, I was like, this is so Gryffindor. I'm a Gryffindor. Side note. Okay, so the yarn, I walked past her booth and I kept picking it up. I was like, I love it. What would I do with it? I love it so much. I don't know if I can wear an entire sweater in this color. It just might be too crazy. And then I thought, oh, well, I could make the Ripple bralette by Jessie May Designs. Done. So I picked it up, and I also picked up plenty other skeins from her booth. But I decided to finally start knitting on it because, you know, I kept telling myself, you need to finish something, you need to finish something. But I finished those socks for my mom. So plus I don't currently have like an active sweater on the needles. And I say that because technically I have the Ginny sweat cardigan in a bag. I really need to work on that. It's in pieces, and it's a Kim Hargreaves pattern, so there's a lot of do this while also doing this, and it's a lot of work to think that way. But anyway, so here it is, the Ripple bralette. I am knitting the size 2. I think that's the 34-inch bust. I can't remember, but the size 2 is what makes sense for me. And I did not do a swatch because there's like 9 to 11 inches of negative ease. It's ribbing. It's going to stretch. I think it's going to be fine. And if it doesn't fit, I'm pretty sure a lot of, like, it's only going to use like 50 grams. So it's not a lot. Like this, I have knit on in just conference calls. So it's super easy. It's just, it's ribbing and then some different ribbing. I'm enjoying it. I did have to order another set of size 4 twists, Xiaogu twists, because I have lost one of them that I have. I actually lost it during that whole Vogue Knitting Live weekend. So yeah, and that was when I was working on my weekender. But so I ordered another one from the yarn store that's near me. It's like literally 2 miles away from me. It's called Yarn It in Haberdashery. I've been there many times, but it is now officially my local yarn store because I live here. So I ordered that, and I also ordered this issue of Pom Pom because I really, really want to make this tank top. I've been really wanting this one because I like this, and I love the tank top I showed you, and I also love this other tank top. And normally I would like, it's a little too busy, but Aubrey of Yarn Flakes, the Yarn Flakes podcast, she has knit that tank top, the lacy looking one. She has knit this tank top, and I think she knit it in a blue, like a navy blue color, I think. And it looked really good on her, like really good. And when she said it was out of this Pom Pom magazine, I was like, oh, it's the same one that has this tank top that I really like. And this one I really liked because, well, I liked it in here, but then I saw another podcaster that I watch, Elena, I don't know, like, I feel weird saying their names in an American accent, or in the American form, because that's not their name, I guess. Elena. I'm not sure, because Aussies, will, like, add R's where there isn't an R, or they swallow the R. Yeah. That's not like a negative thing, it's just the way that it sounds to me as an American. I guess kind of like how we swallow T's, but a lot of languages swallow certain letters. And when I say swallow, I mean, what is a good example? Kitten. So kitten or kitten, like you're saying kitten. Phonetics, right? To me, I'm swallowing that T. I'm not pronouncing that T. And when you say kitten, I don't know, people like call you out, like, why are you saying kitten really weird? I like when I see a kitten, I like to say, oh, look, a kitten. But yeah, okay, why are we on this topic? So Eleanor of is she called the Simple Stitch podcast? Something like that. I've talked about her before, but she has knit this tank top, and I really liked her version, and so I just have a lot of reasons to knit the projects out of here. Honestly, the one thing that I don't like, or is not calling to me, is this. But maybe like grayscale, that would look really cool. I do also like this bag, but I'm not super good with crochet, so I might have a hard time. I really like the tassel idea over here though. Okay, so we just jumped into acquisitions real quick, but this is what I picked up along with the needles to work on this guy. And that I am keeping in my market basket. So the next segment I wanted to bring back was on the horizon, because I have been organizing my yarn. I was trying to catalog it, but that was turning into such an ordeal. I love cataloging things. It's a weird thing. I love to write down stuff I have. I don't know. Maybe that's like one step below hoarding, is like showing yourself that you own a lot of things, or that you have a lot of things, or you've done a lot of things. I think it stems again from just how I like to document stuff, or how I like to list things. Like at one point my Goodreads did have all the books that I own. I have written down all of the makeup I own other than lipstick, because that got out of hand. Just a lot of lipstick. I also, I took a picture of every single article of clothing that I own, and I document how many times I wear them. I haven't been doing that recently because I've literally worn the same shirt and pants, like jeans, 5 days in a row because I'm not going anywhere. I'm going through the motion of putting clothes on so that it feels normal. But it really helps me to not spend money because I have really looked at everything I own. I have written down everything I have. So I was trying to do that with yarn, and it was bad. Like, yeah, I have so much yarn that the amount of time to document it is overwhelming. And again, I documented all the clothes I have, and I have a lot of clothes, a lot. So anyway, needless to say, I was putting yarn away and organizing it, and I decided to take out some yarn that I know I have plans for and what I want to work on next. And I put it in this crate box thing, which I think I did it a year ago or 2 years ago. So I wanted to run through some of the things I want to work on. So right here, I'm not going to pull them out because they're kind of shoved in. This is my Soldotna. This is something I will cast on this year, hopefully in the next couple months. Soldotna right here. And the yarn is deep dyed. Right here. Oop. Deep dyed yarns in her still base, which is 100% superwash merino, and I think it's DK or sport or something. I forget, but I ordered with the intention of Soldotna. None of the tags have colorways on them, so I can't tell you what any of the colorways are. Stick that back down. Okay, so then up top here, I rescued it from my remnants stack. This is the yarn to make a cowl, and my very first year to Rhinebeck, I took my mom and my best friend to Pearl Soho, and I picked up these 2 skeins of yarn. So this is Pearl Soho line weight heather in the wheat flower colorway, and then this is brick or something, I don't remember. And I have made that cowl. If you have been watching for a while, or you've seen that episode or the episodes where I talk about it, I have made the cowl. I messed up thinking I would need 2 skeins of this, but really I only needed 1. But I only used 50 grams of this guy. So I have enough to make a second one, and I plan to make a second one for my mom. And I had planned to do that 2 years ago, and I didn't. So I have taken it out, and this is the intention. And the intention of this is, these are the big projects that I will work on next. Socks are not included in here. So if I want to pick up some sock yarn to make socks, I'm allowing myself to do that. Next, I have these 3 guys, which you have probably seen before. This is supposed to be my Half Moon Oracle Shawl by Kristen of Wool and Vine. I'm still not 100% positive that this is what I'm going for, because my concern is there's just not going to be enough contrast. Also, this is sparkle. These 2 are not. I'm not sure if I want like sparkle all the way through. But also this is gold stellina, and my others are silver, so that will, honestly, it'll be harder to find gold stellina. Really, I'm not sure. So this is purple. This is Malabrigo eggplant. This is the focal. This is Wool and Vine Yarns Blitzed in the Surreal colorway. This is from her Inner Circle Yarn Club. Is a reference to The Court of Thorns and Roses. And then this guy is Batting Me Knits, and it is a tonal gray. It's charcoal, an 80/20. So I'm just not sure if this is gonna be enough of a contrast. Or do I want a bigger contrast? I'm not sure. So I think, you know what, I'm just gonna have to wind them up and just knit and see how I like them. The next thing is still in its bag, but it is a custom order that I made. Well, they have this colorway, but I had to custom order enough yarn, and it is Fiber Seed and the Sprout Decay. And I have 7 skeins of this, and this is going to be a Hohi Locatelli pattern, and it's a cabled cardigan, almost like a jacket. This is on my Make 9. So is the Half Moon Oracle shawl. Several things are on there, but yeah, so that's what this is going to be. And I did purchase those at Vogue Knitting Live. I pulled out this skein of Woolfield. It looks like it's tweed, but it isn't. And this is her 80/20 sock, and it is called Tea Time. This is going to be the Irving socks. Those socks are on my Make 9, and they're going to be this. I just need to pick out a contrasting purple, which now that I'm thinking about it, it might be the purple, the Thanatos colorway that I used to knit the Coffee Talk socks. That might be a really good option. Next, I have this guy. So this is Sun Valley Fibers, and I bought this at Stitches Midwest in Chicago, and it is her 3-color cowl set for the 3-color cashmere cowl by Hohi Locatelli, which has been on my to knit list for years. It is, I've wanted to, the very first time I watched The Grocery Girls, I'm pretty sure was when this cowl came out, and I love it. So that is, I mean, that's happening. I almost skeined this up before I started the bralette. So the colors are Cheeky, Smoke Signals, and Kent. And I think these look beautiful. And these do have, it's a merino cashmere nylon blend. And I just, this is gonna be beautiful. And then I have this guy. This is a placeholder because I'm just not sure what my other colors are gonna be. And this is for a sweater that I've talked about on the podcast before. The Darumi sweater, I'm pretty sure. This is going to be one, and I mean, isn't this like insanely neon? Yeah. I don't know what the other colors are going to be. I have a feeling once we're allowed to like go to yarn stores and festivals and stuff, I'm just gonna have to bring this with me everywhere until I find the yarn that I want to pair it with. Two more projects. So this guy, oops, lost the ball band. Ball bands come off of my mohair yarn very easily. But here is my Birds of a Feather. And again, Teal Torch Knits. I love this colorway. Okay, let's do the mohair first. So the mohair is in TTK Fluff. So it's 7228 kid mohair and silk. And the colorway is Sinking in My Soul. It's a purple. There's a lot of purple happening. So I have 2 skeins of that. And then the other one is this beautiful colorway. It's got pink and then like blue jean. It's beautiful. I mean, normal blue is not my color. I don't wear a lot of blue, but there's just, this looks so beautiful. And this colorway is called A Sunday Kind of Love. I was very close to purchasing a sweater's quantity of this, but I feel like I didn't because there wasn't enough. So I ended up getting a birds of a feather instead. But the dyer, I forget what her name was. I'm pretty sure she was wearing a top that was knit out of this. But it's beautiful, and I'm so excited to knit with this. So again, that's going to be A Birds of a Feather by Andrea Mowry. And then the last project, I guess I don't need to pull all the skeins out. That's just more pain for me. Is going to be, I don't know, but it is going to be with my La Bien Aimée Merino Sport in the Yellow Brick Road Graffiti. And this was yarn that I purchased in Paris at the La Bien Aimée store when I visited, when I was in Germany, and we went to Paris for the weekend. And it's time. I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to knit with it, but it will be some sort of sweater or cardigan or something. And those are everything that is on the horizon. Well, actually, no, false. I have a pair of socks that I'm going to be casting on as a gift for a friend. I'm wanting to make like care packages for people, and I'm just going to drop them off at their door, and I wanted to knit a pair of socks. Other than the socks I made for my mom, socks just seem to take me forever, so I don't know how smart of an idea this is, but we'll see. I'm going to cast them on tonight. Okay, so, well, we already did Smag Tropes, so we can skip that. And I have not finished any books. I'm actually reading a book very slowly, but I'm reading a book, it's like 800 pages, so normally I would be able to breeze through it, but I don't know, I just haven't felt like reading, which is terrible. I looked at Goodreads, and Goodreads told me I'm 18 books behind. I don't think I've been that far behind in years, so yeah. Yeah, okay. Let's go to life. Yeah, still in quarantine or shelter in place or self-isolate, whatever you want to call it. Still doing that. I've really wanted to get more plants. I actually drove to Home Depot today, and when I got there, I saw that there was a line. So I walked up and I looked at some of the plants that were outside just to see if any of them were like house plants, like I could keep them in a pot. And by the time I was done, the line had tripled. So I left. I don't know how long that line was going to take, like an hour just to get in, to find out that there are no house plants and there's just only plants to go outside. There is a local plant, like house plant store in Columbus, but everything is sold out online, so I can't like buy anything from them. So I have a couple places that I've bookmarked, so I'm probably gonna buy some plants and have them mailed to me, because I think that's really all I can do at this point. Speaking of my plants, they have been growing like crazy. They love the new apartment. They love the light. They love the sunlight. There's so many new buds and blooms. My peperomia plant is doing, actually both of my peperomia plants are doing so good. One's like a ripply one, and then the other one's like a standard flat one. Both of them have gotten quite a lot of new leaves, which is just great. Peperomias are my favorite. I love just how like their leaves are just, they come out and then they're a flat circle or something. I just think they're really cute. Both of my purple plants are also doing fantastic, to the point where I think I might even have to separate, like, split them up. But yeah, all the plants are doing good. So good. So that's been awesome. I did also get my Nintendo Switch right up there. I had to buy a bundle that came with the other Joy-Cons, and since I absolutely hate the blue reddish ones, the reddish one's okay, I just don't like the blue. Oh, and a fly came in. Great. Great. I don't know why do they fly so high? I'm on the 9th floor. Why? Why do they fly so high? Cool. Don't know if you can hear that, but yep, that's great. Yeah, so I've been playing Animal Crossing, which has been really nice. My neighbors on my island, I have the squirrel with the unibrow. So whenever she talks to you, she says, "Uni something," like, "Uni, wow." And then I also have a penguin who talks about working out, but he's like a rotund penguin with a Where's Waldo striped shirt. I like my neighbors. I think they're a cute starter neighbor to have. I actually visited my friend's island today. She has a really nice island. I can't wait until some weeks have passed and I've been able to like get a good setup on my island. But anyway, yeah, so that's been a lot of fun. We're almost into May. Oh, my face itched there for a second. We're almost into May, and with May comes something called Mania, which is a cross-stitching thing. I am going to partake, but I've made my own Mania rules, and it's just going to be cross-stitch every day, because I currently don't cross-stitch every day. I go through spurts where I'll cross-stitch a lot in a couple days, and then I don't cross-stitch for weeks on end. So that's going to be my challenge. I know I can't start 31 projects. That would just be stupid, because to be completely honest, I would probably never finish them. Like, in my lifetime, I probably would not finish all of them. So yeah, I plan to just cross stitch every day. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do like half an hour or a certain amount of stitches, or like go through an entire thread. That probably will be what I would do, is go through a full thread. But I'm hoping to get, some progress on some of the cross stitch pieces that I have. So with that, I think we are pretty much done. What is it, 9 now? Almost 9 o'clock. And yeah, I think that's it. So let me know what you guys have been doing. Have you felt the urge to cast on more things? Have you been reading? Are you not feeling like reading? Have you played more board games? What have you been doing? Other than not seeing my friends, I feel like I'm doing just what I would normally have done. Minus having friends over or going to see friends, and yeah. So I think that's it. And I think I'm gonna be done. Alright guys, thank you so much. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment, thumbs up, subscribe, all that jazz. If you'd like to follow me on any of the social medias, I have my handles down below inside of the description. But if you need me to tell them to you, it's a Traveling Knitter podcast on Instagram. We also have a group where I put more detailed show notes in the group. I magic link some of the stuff too. If you'd like to follow me on Goodreads, I am LuluisCrazy on Goodreads. LuluisCrazy is also my personal account on Instagram as well as Ravelry. Thanks guys, and I hope everyone is staying safe and sane, and you are getting some sort of craft or fun in your life right now. Bye.